The most talented college football player to never reach his NFL potential wasn't stopped by injury or lack of skill. His future was lost with a failed drug test. This dude could have been an NFL franchise quarterback, a Heisman Trophy winner, the face of a program that wouldn't find elite QB play again until a certain someone else arrived a decade later. Instead, this guy was dismissed from school just 2 weeks before the 2008 season. He went undrafted and spent his career bouncing through minor leagues. Unfortunately, this pattern has repeated itself across college football. Elite recruits, All-Americans, and projected first-round picks whose legal troubles derailed what should have been lucrative NFL careers. These 10 players represent the highest concentrations of wasted potential in college football history. We rank and settle this by how much NFL promise they possessed before everything fell apart. Number 10, Melvin Alaise, defensive end. The number 4 overall prospect in the entire country in 2005, a 5-star recruit with elite pass rushing ability. NFL scouts had him projected as a high draft pick, but Alaise played exactly 1 college game at Illinois in 2006 before everything stopped. In 2007, he was charged with first-degree assault. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 8 years in prison. He never entered an NFL draft, never developed his skills beyond that single game. The conviction ended any chance at professional football. A top 5 national recruit to 1 game to 8 years in prison. Number 9, Jansen Jackson, cornerback Tennessee, the number 2 cornerback in the nation as a 5-star recruit in 2009. USA Today All-American. As a sophomore in 2010, he earned second-team All-SEC honors with 5 interceptions and 65 tackles. Scouts projected him as a mid-round NFL pick. But in August 2011, Tennessee dismissed Jackson from the team. Coach Derek Dooley said the program had devoted tremendous resources trying to help him manage personal challenges. Later, multiple sources confirmed Jackson failed multiple drug tests for marijuana. Jackson went undrafted. The New York Giants did later sign him, but they waived him before the regular season. He never played an NFL game. Then, in 2014, Jackson was charged with murder in the death of his mother's boyfriend, Frank Herrera, who was found strangled in an abandoned car. In 2017, Jackson was convicted of voluntary manslaughter and sentenced to 11 years in prison, the maximum sentence. His defense maintained it was self-defense. Second-team All-SEC to 11 years in prison. Number 8, Sam Ukwachu, defensive end. He was a unanimous freshman All-American at Boise State in 2012, starting 12 games as a true freshman with 7 tackles for loss and 4.5 sacks. At 6 feet 4 inches, 267 pounds, he had the pass rushing ability to become a mid-round NFL draft pick. In May 2013, Ukwachu transferred to Baylor, appearing in just 6 games for them. In October 2013, Ukwachu was charged with 2 counts of sexual assault. A grand jury indicted him in June 2014. During the trial, testimony revealed allegations of domestic violence at Boise State. On August 21, 2015, a jury found him guilty. He was sentenced to 180 days in jail, 10 years probation, 400 hours of community service, and sex offender registration. The conviction was overturned, then reinstated, then overturned again, then reinstated again in November 2020 as the final ruling. Ukwachu never entered the NFL draft. His freshman All-American season was the only productive year he ever had. Unanimous freshman All-American, never played college football again. Number 7, Christian Peter, defensive tackle Nebraska, 2-time national champion in 1994 and 1995. First team All-Big 8, honorable mention All-American, 124 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, 9 sacks. A key leader of the legendary Blackshirt defense. Nebraska inducted him into their Hall of Fame in 2006. But Peter's college years included an alarming pattern of legal issues. In 1993, he pleaded guilty to third-degree sexual assault and was sentenced to 18 months probation. In 1994, he was convicted of disturbing the peace after an altercation at a bar. He accumulated convictions 4 times total during his college career, including trespassing, public urination, and threatening a parking attendant. The New England Patriots selected Peter in the 5th round of the 1996 NFL Draft. But 1 week later, the Patriots made history. They became the first NFL team ever to waive a drafted player before training camp. Patriots owner Robert Kraft's wife personally pushed for the decision. No other team expressed interest. Peter sat out the entire 1996 season, losing 1 full year of NFL salary. The New York Giants finally signed him in 1997. He played 6 NFL seasons, but the legal issues cost him a year of earnings and likely tens of millions in higher draft position. Based on his talent, he was projected as a potential 2nd or 3rd round pick before the public became fully aware of his criminal history. 2-time national champion to first player ever waived before training camp. Still to come, a player who was acquitted of all charges, but it was already too late. And a running back who played just 4 college games, but still got drafted in the 5th round. Stay with us. Number 6, Cecil Collins, known as the Diesel, running back. Louisiana's first ever Mr. Football in 1993. In high school, he rushed for 7,833 yards and 99 touchdowns in his career, including 3,079 yards his senior season. At LSU in 1997, Collins exploded with 232 yards and 2 touchdowns against Auburn, one of the most dominant individual performances by any running back that season. In his first 4 games before breaking his leg, Collins rushed for 596 yards. Analysts projected him as a potential first-round NFL pick. But in summer 1998, Collins was arrested twice for illegally entering dwellings at an apartment complex. One case involved a 17-year-old who accused Collins of exposing himself. Collins claimed he was sleepwalking with no recollection. He was convicted and received probation. LSU dismissed him before the 1998 season. Collins transferred to McNeese State but violated probation by failing a drug screen. He was kicked off the team without playing a single game. He played just 4 total college games in his entire career. Remarkably, the Miami Dolphins drafted Collins in the 5th round of the 1999 NFL Draft, 134th overall. He started 6 of 8 games as a rookie, rushing for 414 yards and 2 touchdowns. But on December 16, 1999, Collins was arrested for burglary in Davie, Florida. He broke into a neighbor's apartment at 5 a.m., climbing through the bedroom window while a married couple slept. When the husband woke up, Collins told police he only wanted to watch the wife as she slept. The Dolphins immediately released him. On September 9, 2005, Collins was convicted of felony burglary and sentenced to 15 years in Florida prison. He served over 13 years before his release in February 2014. 232 yards against Auburn, 4 college games total, 15 years in prison. Number 5, Willie Williams, linebacker. The number 6 overall prospect nationally. Number 1 outside linebacker. The number 3 highest ranked signee in University of Miami history in the 2004 class. At Carroll City High School in Florida, Williams recorded 18 sacks in just 9 games his senior season. In the state championship game, he had 11 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. At 6 feet 3 inches, 240 pounds, running a 4.3-second 40-yard dash, Williams was projected as a potential 1st or 2nd round NFL pick. But Williams had accumulated at least 10 arrests before his 18th birthday. 6 for petty theft, 4 for burglary or possession of burglary tools. Then, in July 2002, he was tried as an adult for stealing $3,800 in stereo equipment, pleaded no contest, and received 18 months probation. During his recruiting visit to the University of Florida in January 2004, Williams was charged with 3 separate criminal offenses, including discharging 3 fire extinguishers at the hotel, which was a felony. Williams enrolled at Miami wearing an electronic monitoring ankle bracelet and under house arrest during his entire freshman year. He never started a game despite his elite ranking, recording just 17 tackles in 2005. He transferred after 2006. At Louisville in 2007, Williams was arrested in October for possession of marijuana, felony tampering with physical evidence after allegedly trying to eat the marijuana, and driving without a license. Louisville dismissed him within 24 hours. No NFL team would draft him due to his extensive criminal history. He went undrafted. In 2013, he was convicted of second-degree burglary and designated a persistent felony offender, receiving a 15-year prison sentence. He was released in January 2023 and now works as a fitness trainer and mentor in Miami. Number 6, prospect nationally to 11 arrests before age 18 to 15 years in prison. Number 4, Fred Rouse, wide receiver, Florida State. Ranked the number 2 wide receiver nationally and number 6 overall prospect in 2005. At 6 feet 4 inches, running a 4.4-second 40-yard dash, Rouse was a parade All-American. FSU fans called him the second coming of Randy Moss. As a true freshman in 2005, Rouse started the Orange Bowl against Penn State, catching 6 passes for 114 yards and 1 touchdown. He also handled return duties. Scouts projected him as a 2nd or 3rd round NFL pick. But Rouse failed multiple drug tests for marijuana during his freshman season. In January 2006, legendary coach Bobby Bowden dismissed Rouse for conduct detrimental to the welfare of the team. The dismissal stemmed from Rouse breaking into a teammate's apartment. He was arrested. He violated probation following this arrest and served time in prison. Rouse transferred to UTEP, then Texas Southern, then finished at NAIA program Concordia in Alabama. Just a massive fall from a top 10 national recruit. He went undrafted in the NFL draft. Number 2 receiver nationally, dismissed after 1 season, undrafted. Coming up, a 6'9" defensive end who was a potential number 1 overall pick, arrested 2 weeks before the draft. And the number 1 player on our list, an SEC championship game MVP who never played a single NFL snap. Number 3, Marcus Vick, quarterback, Virginia Tech, Michael Vick's younger brother. Marcus led Virginia Tech to an 11-2 record, the ACC Coastal Division title, and a Gator Bowl victory as starting quarterback in 2005. He earned first-team All-ACC honors with 2,868 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, plus 492 rushing yards and 6 rushing touchdowns. But Vick's legal troubles started early. In January 2004, he was convicted of contributing to the delinquency of a minor, 3 counts, allegedly having relations with a 15-year-old girl and providing alcohol to underage girls. He received a suspended 30-day jail sentence. In July 2004, he was charged with reckless driving and marijuana possession. In December 2005, he was cited for his 9th traffic offense in Virginia, speeding and driving on a suspended license. Then on January 2, 2006, during the nationally televised Gator Bowl, Vick deliberately stomped on the leg of Louisville defensive end Elvis Dumervil. The incident was captured on camera. Virginia Tech permanently dismissed Vick on January 6, 2006 due to, quote, the cumulative effect of legal infractions and unsportsmanlike play. 3 days later, he was charged with 3 counts of brandishing a firearm after allegedly pointing a gun at a teenager in a McDonald's parking lot. Despite pre-draft speculation as a possible 3rd-round pick, Vick went completely undrafted. The Miami Dolphins signed him as an undrafted free agent, but he played only 1 game, on December 25, 2006, appearing at wide receiver in the 4th quarter with 0 receptions. He never threw an NFL pass. Miami released him after the season, and no team re-signed him. First team All-ACC to 1 NFL game with 0 statistics. Number 2, Shawn Oakman, defensive end, Baylor. Few players have ever possessed Oakman's physical tools. Standing 6 feet 9 inches and 280 pounds, Oakman became an iconic figure at Baylor, finishing as the school's all-time sack leader with 17.5 career sacks. In 2014, he recorded 25.5 tackles for loss and 11.0 sacks, earning 3rd-team All-American honors and consensus All-Big 12 recognition. Sports Illustrated speculated before his senior season that Oakman could potentially be the number 1 overall pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, based purely on his rare physical attributes. His senior season proved inconsistent, which lowered his draft stock to a projected 2nd or 3rd round selection. But it wasn't performance that ended his NFL prospects. On April 13, 2016, just 2 weeks before the NFL Draft, Oakman was arrested on 2nd-degree felony sexual assault charges. Police alleged he forcibly removed a woman's clothes and assaulted her at his off-campus apartment. A grand jury indicted him on July 20, 2016. An NFC executive immediately declared Oakman, quote, undraftable now. He went undrafted in the 2016 draft, and no team signed him as an undrafted free agent. Projected NFL earnings of $2 to $5 million over a rookie contract disappeared instantly. Nearly 3 years later, on February 28, 2019, a jury found Oakman not guilty after deliberating just 45 minutes. But the damage was done. By the time of his acquittal, Oakman was 27 years old and had lost 3 prime years of his athletic career. He later played in minor leagues but never received an NFL opportunity despite his acquittal. Potential number 1 overall pick, arrested 2 weeks before the draft, acquitted 3 years too late. And now, number 1, Ryan Perrilloux, quarterback, LSU. Louisiana's greatest high school quarterback prospect ever. Perrilloux was a 5-star recruit and the number 1 dual-threat quarterback nationally in the 2005 class. He won Louisiana's Gatorade Player of the Year and the Hall Award, high school football's Heisman Trophy. His high school stats: 12,705 total yards of offense and 155 career touchdowns. At LSU in 2007, Perrilloux earned SEC Championship Game MVP honors against Tennessee, completing 20 of 30 passes for 243 yards and 1 touchdown to send the Tigers to the BCS National Championship game. He was part of LSU's 2007 National Championship team. He finished the season 51 of 75 passing for 694 yards, 8 touchdowns, and just 2 interceptions, plus 207 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Scouts compared him to Michael Vick. Analysts projected him as a 2nd or 3rd round NFL pick with the potential to become a franchise quarterback, a position worth tens of millions of dollars in the modern NFL. But in October 2007, Perrilloux was suspended for the Alabama game after involvement in a nightclub fight, though he was not criminally charged. On February 18, 2008, he was indefinitely suspended for missing classes, workouts, and team meetings, plus academic issues. Additional violations included being caught on the fringe of a counterfeiting investigation, attempting to enter a casino with false identification, and failing a drug test for marijuana. On May 2, 2008, Coach Les Miles permanently dismissed him. Miles said, quote, "Ryan was given every opportunity to be a part of this football team. In the end, he didn't fulfill his obligation as an LSU student-athlete." Perrilloux transferred to Jacksonville State, earned Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year honors in 2009, and completed his degree. But he went undrafted in the 2010 NFL Draft. The New York Giants signed and cut him 7 times between 2011 and 2012, eventually keeping him on the practice squad. He received a Super Bowl 46 ring as a practice squad member, but never played meaningful NFL snaps. His career continued in the UFL, Arena Football League, Indoor Football League, and French American League through 2016. LSU wouldn't find another elite quarterback for a decade, not until Joe Burrow arrived. Perrilloux could have been that quarterback in 2008-2009. He could have competed for Heisman trophies. He could have led championship teams. He could have been a franchise NFL quarterback earning tens of millions of dollars. Instead, he's the number 1 player on this list. SEC Championship Game MVP, national champion to never playing a single meaningful NFL snap. 10 players. 5 were 5-star recruits ranked in the top 15 nationally. 4 earned All-American or All-Conference honors. 2 were national champions. 3 played quarterback, the NFL's highest paid position. Based on their pre-legal issue draft projections, these 10 players represent at least over $100 million in lost NFL earnings. Some were convicted and imprisoned for years. Others were acquitted but destroyed by timing. All of them had one thing in common: they never reached their NFL potential. If you remember some of these names, hit that like button and subscribe for more CFB content. Drop a comment and let me know. Who surprised you most on this list? I'll see you in the next one.